Hi, everyone. I'm just checking to make sure I'm live. Okay, great. It is your 1 moment of Zen, 1 minute of Zen, which probably will be more like 10 or more, because I'm going to invite you in today to talk with me and share your own impressions of my topic, which is ascension symptoms, question mark. Why? Because I'm seeing a lot of lists circulating, how you're supposed to feel or identify your symptoms of ascension, which with all respect to the people who are sharing this information, it just feels a little bit confining and maybe trite in some ways. So, yeah. Saying that it's trite is probably going to be offensive to the people that are sharing that information. So I take that word back. I don't mean that it's trite. I mean that it's confining and setting up some ideas for people of what they're supposed to feel or what they can recognize as ascension symptoms. And I see these lists, and some of them are deep. Cedar Winters has put out some wonderful information about ascension and the things that some of us are feeling. But, when I see a list, like a scroll of things that are ranging from emotional duress, roller coastering emotionally, physical trauma, all these quite negative aspects, well, then I think we should be talking about it and dispelling as much as possible that there's a way that you're going to feel and recognize that it's symptoms of ascension. So again, with all due respect to the people who are trying to help identify some of these feelings, I'd like to blow this open and discuss it together here, because I don't like anyone telling me how I'm supposed to feel at all, much less defining for me personally what ascension is going to feel like. And I therefore don't want to do that to you. So as you know, I always invite people to find their own truth. I mean, this might be an ascension symptom, the search for your own truth, or even the finding of it. And but let's talk about it. So first of all, why do we have to have an emotional roller coaster as a symptom of ascension? I mean, isn't the nature of the process of refining your energy one that takes you into a state of balancing those lower chakras, releasing those miasms that are causing duress at the emotional, physical levels, and raising your energy? Am I not getting this right? I'd like to see some comments here. All of you, many people are joining. And so what do you think about that? I think that there can be, but there doesn't need to be a feeling of emotional upset, or some people have described mourning change, mourning with M-O-U-R-N, okay? Mourning change, feelings of being alienated from the planet, feelings of, thank you, Sanjeev, of being, of wanting not to be here. This is what I really want to discuss. This is what I talk about a lot. And as far as the process we're in right now, this is so important. There's this whole campaign about how starseed are longing to leave the planet, longing to return to their star or their planet. And, guys, I mean, where is the honoring of the soul essence, of the soul intent in that idea that, Earth is fried, and I know I'm starseed, I know a better way, I know a higher level of a higher vibration, I know a better society, an evolved society. My wish for you is that you think about, well, first of all, because there are even suicidal thoughts attached to this concept that I'm not happy here. I hate Earth. It's a lower vibration. I know how it can be more beautiful. And oh, thank you, Laura. And I want to go home. Well, I want you to always think about the fact that at the soul level, you said, I'm going to go to this Earth planet and I'm going to be part of this immense shift. I'm going to bring my light to that process. I'm going to bring my love there, my wisdom. Who knows? I'm going to bring the imprint of my star and the evolution of a society that has long passed some of the traumas that Earth society is experiencing. But we did it. We wanted to be here. I really want to help you grasp that. If you're still struggling with why it has to be so difficult here, you want to do this. It's kind of like you wanted, for people, as a healer, I deal a lot with people who are really struggling with relationships, especially their childhood, mother-father relationships. And I did too with my father. And I healed it, always remembering that I chose him. I chose to come into this situation where he was my father so that I could learn whatever lesson there was. And I chose to come into this beautiful Earth because I needed to learn whatever I had to learn. And I wanted to be here now. So when we talk about ascension symptoms, I truly hope that those of you who are struggling with that idea of being star-seeded and not being happy and wanting to go home, you are home. This is your home right now. And you chose to do it. And it's tough, but here we are. Here we are. We've been talking a lot, and especially since the new book came out, the new series Stars, the new series Revelations. I've been doing more video and talking to you more, and I intend to continue that. Hold on, I'm reading important messages. If this is Trisha Kelly says list, most are just transferring their victim energy to another list, not ascension. That's a good point, Trisha. And if you want to leave, you're just saying my soul got it wrong. Never get it wrong. More a victim of the world energy now. The world got it wrong again. I don't like victim consciousness. I think you all have picked that up by now. And I do love the empowerment of even the Buddhist tradition. Not that I'm limited to a strict interpretation of it, but I am the creator of my destiny. And I am the creator of my difficult situations, and I am the creator of my wonderful, joyous decisions and their outcome. So I chose to be here. I created this environment, and I am going to live it, not suffering, not having an emotional roller coaster, although we're entitled. I mean, I'm not suggesting that we all have to be in happy land every minute of our lives, but that neither do I choose to affiliate or associate ascension and all that we are experiencing with necessarily having to go through difficult processes. So just remember that, you're, of course, in the process of refining your energy, you're talking about healing, empowering, activating those lower centers. And early on in the books of the council, they said, maybe the Cosmos of Soul, they said, when you start to go through this process, if you don't clear out those miasms that you've got, those blocks in your chakras, in your energy system, that are belief systems that have held you back, when this energy starts to move, and they're talking about the activation of the entire planet, you're going to blow your corks if you're not releasing yourself from these miasms. So I agree that there can be now for many people a time of just intense shifting. So in a way, I guess I'm contradicting myself, but I would love to impart to people that can hear it the idea that watch out for these lists. You don't have to have dizziness, nausea. I think this is very limiting. It feels like when you open up, I can barely remember it, but when you open up a medicine, pharmaceutical, and you've got the list of adverse effects, which is usually much worse than whatever the medicine purports to heal, and you have this list of possible reactions, and you can even create them in your mind. But what I'm trying to say here is watch out for these lists. You don't have to feel these things. And if you have, for example, one of the things that I'm reading all the time about ascension symptoms is food intolerances. Well, hold on a minute. Let's stay grounded here. Food intolerances are happening more and more because the food is more and more poisonous, as is the environment. And so many people are taking antibiotics and meds that the immune systems are becoming weaker. So I love to balance things with just a touch of reality and grounding to help me find the direction that I want to go with information that's coming in. Susan Fairclough says, as much as I want to help with the ascension, are there not those who are working to prevent it and block us? Susan, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Can you add a little bit more to your point so that I can elaborate it? Yeah, Cheryl Gordon Kay says, it's the experience of being here. It can be enjoyable. Damn straight it can be enjoyable. It's breathtaking. And if you're not enjoying it, what can you do to change it? What can you do to, look, ascension or no ascension, we all are going to pass out of physical form. Whether it's 100 years old, whether we ascend in a year from now or whatever, one thing we know is we're going to move out of physical form and move on to another reality. Now, I personally love this planet and I love life. And I'm making a collection of experiences all the time. I have this, my brother once asked me, I may have mentioned this in a former interview, he said, sis, how's your portfolio doing? Are you really putting yourself together a good portfolio? And I said, oh, I have a wonderful portfolio. I have a wonderful portfolio. And he said, oh, what are you invested in? I said, me. He goes, sis, I'm talking about investments. I said, so am I. I said, I've got memories of Tibet and Peru and Italy, California, oceans, mountains. I'm very invested in me, and my portfolio is every experience of my life. That's what matters to me. That's what I'm taking with me to my next destination. Make it beautiful, because whether or not you are here for ascension or not ascension or whatever, when you leave this life, what are you taking with you? And if it's emotional roller coastering, feelings of intolerance and suffering, you've lost the plot. I mean, how about shifting that to, oh my God, what a gift I have to be alive here. And again, at a soul level, I planned this out. What am I going to take with me when I go? What is my portfolio going to include? Okay, Susan has answered. Susan, those of us who are here on a mission to help will be targeted by the dark side disrupted. All right, I'm here on a mission to help, and I'm very public, and I'm very visible, and to hell with the dark side and the disruption. I refuse to be afraid of anything that can come at me. And if it's my time to go, if anything wants to take me out and it's my time to go, my message is, thank you, I'm ready. I know I've had 2 near-death experiences, and I've been on the other side, and holy mogoly, it's light over there. I can't wait. So, Susan, Don't be afraid of the dark side targeting you. What a compliment. It means your light is so bright, you're getting the attention. And what you really need to remember that is always never let yourself feel fear of that. Because what you're saying is you're afraid of your own light. And I know you're not. Cheryl Nader Bynum says, are you saying you don't believe that we need to lighten our physical bodies in order to ascend the earth? No, of course. I think, Cheryl, well, first of all, I'm speaking to an audience of spiritual people that are practicing spirituality, and I'm one. So I'm not suggesting that I'm not quite sure why you would think I would say that we don't need to lighten our bodies. We're doing that all the time with all the spiritual work we do. And of course, just being in love, centered in love. What I'm saying is, what I originally started out to say was that a lot of the information that's coming out as symptoms of ascension have to do with how we're struggling, how to have to deal with emotional upset all the time as a symptom of ascension and physical discomfort. And I don't necessarily adhere to that. I don't think we have to. Do you? I don't think we have to be in pain and suffering. If anything, I think that the nature of being in this ascension process is stripping that away, becoming more and more aware of beauty and light and the celebration of life. So I hope that's being transmitted in what I'm saying. I'm reading some of your messages. Give me unlimited thought, saying someone's power, music, and attraction of everything. Okay, so Cheryl got my point. Thank you, Cheryl. Right, what else? Anyone else want to pipe in with your perceptions of your own ascension symptoms? I mean, I've been telling you about mine, for example, this bizarre, these moments of slipping time, the perception of a new slip. I don't know how else to describe it. Slipping of the space-time continuum is definitely one of the symptoms that I identify as being an ascension symptom. And another is, it just feels like the plant and animal kingdoms are communicating much more vibrantly. And if you see me on Facebook, you know, like you, I'm always sharing the beautiful things that are happening with animals, whether it's animals communicating love with humans or with each other across species lines. It's just pretty remarkable what the animals are showing us. Well, is it that the animals are ascending and more reachable? Or is it that we are more aware of them and paying more attention? I would think that would be an ascension symptom. What do you think? So, well, I guess I wanted to have this moment of Zen to just have you think about that, to ask yourself, am I going to buy into a packaged formula of what somebody tells me ascension symptoms are, or am I going to trust my own heightened awareness that my own heightened awareness and what I'm experiencing as being, wow, there's definitely a shift within me, and there's no pattern and there's no instruction booklet for this. And I'm inviting you to trust that. And again, I think that it's so important for us, very, very important for us to remember, star seeds, that we chose to be here. Here we are. Find the beauty and the joy, and let's get some more laughter going. Do you think I laugh too much? please reply. I know that as a spiritual person, I should be more serious about spirituality, but I truly feel that the ultimate expression of spirit is laughter. Think about it. When you're laughing and celebrating the innocence, the joy of life, every cell of your body is receiving that light, that love, that celebration. And so I don't want to preach now, so I'm probably going to close now, but I did want to remind you of that. Let's get some more laughter going on and not take ourselves so seriously, not take ascension so seriously that it has to be formulaic and that we have symptoms to look for, but rather just look at a blade of grass. I posted the most awesome picture that a friend, Laura, sent to me. It was a picture of a blade of grass under an electron microscope. And you just look at it and you start to laugh because there's all these happy faces in it and all this beautiful sacred geometry and light. And it's just like, this is one blade of grass. I'm looking. All right, guys. Anybody else want to pipe in? You're quiet today. Usually I'm just flooded with questions. Let me triple check and see if I missed anything. Oh, hearts flying across the screen. That's good. All right, sweethearts. This is Patricia Cori. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope I've transmitted a moment of joy and food for thought. And remember, my fellow starseeds, we came here with a mission. Remember your mission. And let's get to work. All right, loves. Take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.